Hi, welcome to the channel. Today I'm going to start a new series which I'm calling Caravan Quickies. What it's going to be is a series of videos showing you the basics of caravanning. Now this is going to be stuff that experienced caravanners are going to know, so it might not add any value to you at all. Although what you could do is, if you notice I'm doing something different to what you do, or if you know a better way of doing stuff, then I'd really appreciate you putting something in the comments below. So the first in the series is going to be talking about toilets. As you can see, I've got my gloves ready. So no, I'm not practicing to be a vet. I'm actually going to touch the toilet cassette, which we've had for. So when you get a caravan, you'll obviously get you will probably get a toilet cassette with it. Now, depending on the age of your caravan, the toilet cassette could be several years old. Now, Thetford do a freshen up kit, which is basically a toilet cassette and a new toilet seat for around about £100. Now that might be an option for you, rather than try to maintain what you've currently got. A few bits you need to know about it, like obviously there's the wheels there that helps you move it to the place where you empty it out. So if we just concentrate on this part here, so this is the section that slides under the toilet bowl and the waste goes here. Obviously not in this position because this does need to be open to expose this gap here. So at the other end is the pouring spout. There's a cap on the end of there which can also be used as a measuring cap for your liquid or fluid that I'll talk about in a little while. So that twists round. It's very difficult to do one hand. I'll try and figure this out. So yeah, the flap goes like this. If I can show you, just round like that. Then it will just unscrew like this, and then you see there that this then becomes a measuring cap for your fluids. Now up here is the handle. Now on some models, in fact these models, you can prise this off. If this handle ever comes loose, you can prise this off, which I'll try and do actually. Hold the line cooler. So to prise the handle off, always take a Swiss Army knife with you. I should be able to just prise this off. There you go. Easy peasy. So if that handle ever starts to rattle, you can just, there's a couple of screws in there that you tighten. One there and one over there. Tighten that up and it will just stop that handle loosening. Last thing you want is to drop the cassette full of stuff. Just pop it back on. Done. So when you're emptying these toilets at the appropriate place on a campsite, then you can just basically, your waste is going to come out of here, and as you're lifting to pour, there's a button here that will actually let air in, and you'll hear it hiss like that. Yeah, just like that, and it will speed up the evacuation of all the. Well, again, here's a toilet cassette. Here's a toilet cassette. So what we're looking at, I'm not sure you'll be able to see it. If you can't see it, I will put a better picture up. But here, there's two symbols, a closed and an open. Now an arrow there. Now this has to turn anti-clockwise so that arrow is facing there. And to do that, you need to take this off here. Take this flap off, turn it around the other way as I've done there, and then use that as a lever to turn it. See, that is going, but you need to be so careful not to snap that. Caravan vlogger, keeping it real. The struggle is real. Struggle is real, my friend. Now, hopefully, someone is going to put a comment underneath, say if you spray something on there, it makes it much easier, or keep doing it every month. There we go. Now that was difficult, and I'm a strong man. Sorry, that was a joke. Right, if I open that flap, just to take this out, if you see that, so that gives you. Now I'm not going to show you in that toilet because I can see what's in there. Just have a look at the mechanism here. It's just it's an open and shut case. Open, shut. Okay, so that's how it works. Now, if you can see. Now I've just, to be completely honest, I've just washed this out so that I could make this video and you can see a nice clean cassette. So I had a hose pipe on it, rinsed it all out, shook it around. I got some toilet paper out, but I'll show you here. If you can see, yeah, you can see there, can't you? toilet paper wrapped round the stem there. Now I've cleaned that to what I thought was an acceptable level. Obviously, it's a good idea to take this whole cover off just to give it a good clean. There's one other thing I wanted to show you inside is there. Now that's the float. So as the water level rises, it contacts a switch and your red light comes on the toilet to show you it's full, which is, you know, basically telling you when it needs emptying. You should really be careful when shaking it because this can come dislodged. Right, so I'll just put that back on. And I think you're best off having this closed, obviously while putting it on, having that closed so that it goes in easier. Now what you're going to do, you're going to line up this arrow with the two dots that I showed you earlier. So there's the arrow on there. Now what I need to do is the two bits are over here, the open and closed sections. So I need the arrow around that part to the open section, which is there. Then I need to turn that clockwise now so that that arrow there points to there, which isn't easy while holding the camera. Right, so let's just try and turn this like a ninja. What I'll do, I'll put this back in again. Again, you know, everybody tells you to use these, and I think you should, but you really need to be careful because these are flimsy plastic, and that's a tough. You have to exert quite a bit of force on there to get it to go into position. Caravan vlogger, keeping it real. Don't say I never do how-tos. How to clean your toilet. I could probably put my hand in there actually with gloves on. Obviously, you saw how clean it was. So, and I could maybe twist. That seems to make it easier. You could probably do that to take it off as well. Now, this flap goes in a certain way as well. There's a little arrow there. I don't know what this camera's like for focusing, but little arrow there. And there's a matching arrow, which you won't be able to see, but it's there. So there's only one way to put it in. So I think it's that. So that arrow's there, that arrow's there. Whoa. So one last thing, if you are completely new to caravanning, these have a handle on, which are really handy. A conspicuous bright orange colour, so you can wheel it along like a shopping trolley to the poo point for you to pour your effluent down. And I think that's pretty much it. That is the anatomy of a toilet cassette, as brought to you by a Caravan vlogger with his surgical gloves on. That's all you need to know about a Thetford toilet cassette. Now, as I said, I do recommend wearing these gloves because otherwise you're going to get covered in, well, a whole lot of doo-doos. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to give that another good clean with the hose pipe, because with that open, so that I can, as you saw in there, all that toilet paper. Or maybe you didn't see it, I was forced to cut it. But anyway, if you did see, if that section was still left in, you saw that I had toilet paper wrapped around the plastic part inside. So just lastly, before we go, I'll explain about the fluids that go in there. So you get two colours of fluid, or maybe actually three, pink and blue, or pink and green. So the blue and the green do the same thing, but the green one is environmentally friendly. The blue one has, I think, formaldehyde in or something like that. So the pink fluids go in the flushing water, which is where you put the fresh water to flush the toilet, obviously, and the blue or green go into here with a little bit of water. I mean, if you look at the instructions, it does tell you. I do know a few people, or at least one person, who's admitted to put in blue in the top and pink in the bottom. You know who you are. I won't name and shame. So again, that's pink or blue and green. Don't know if that'll work. I'll put it in. So that's everything you need to know as far as I'm concerned. If you know more than I do, which there is always a possibility, put in the comments below. I'll put some links to the Freshen Up kit and the fluids that you can buy from Amazon. Other than that, that's about what I've got to say. Stay tuned. Hope you'll look forward to the next Caravan Quickie from Caravan Vlogger. Bye.
you.